Northport is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States.
And in this video, we're going to tell you the reasons why so many people are moving to the area and why you might want to consider moving here too. And we're getting started right now.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the area, make sure to call, text, or email me. I am a local realtor here. I'll have my information in the description box below.
We hear from people all the time, and I love hearing what she's hearing from you guys.
The main reason why Northport is growing so fast is that there is a lot of vacant land. Northport is very expansive, so there is a lot of land that's not developed, and it's being developed right now.
Yeah, and an interesting thing about it is there's so many like vacant lots. Like sometimes it'll be 2-3 vacant lots, and then there'll be a house, vacant lot, then a house. And as much as new homes are going into the area, it still just feels like there's a million vacant lots out there that you could purchase and build on. And I think part of the draw to Northport is sort of that feel that comes with that. It's a little bit more of a rural, almost country feel, but you still have some city amenities on, especially on Tamiami Trail, the main area. And with all those vacant lots, you can also then build a home or buy a spec home and get something that's brand new or new-ish, or get exactly what you want.
Yes, and the cool thing about it is that if you want to have a big house or maybe a big house with a big backyard, you can just purchase 2-3 lots. You obviously have to find the right area, and all those 3 lots have to be for sale.
But it's not impossible.
But it is, yeah, it's easy, very, very easy to find them. Also, if it's a resale home that maybe you love, you can find a lot that's right next to it or maybe in the back. So you have the possibilities there as well.
Yeah, I think that of all the reasons that people want to move to Northport, that's probably like the main one. Like a lot of people have referred to it as a bedroom community because there's not as much stuff going on in Northport. They do have some things that we'll talk about a little bit later in the video, but you know, you do got all your main amenities that you need as far as shopping and things like that. And then the ability to buy an affordable place that's new or new-ish with extra space to spare if you want it. You're just not going to find that in a lot of Florida, especially in a nice area like the Gulf Coast, all the cities that it's near, being within striking distance of the beaches, which I think is like the next big reason that so many people are moving to Northport is the location.
So in Northport, you can get a really nice home and still be close to the beach. So a lot of people like that draws them.
Yeah, and on top of that, with those beaches, is not just the beaches, but the cities that are on the beaches. So some of the closest beaches, if you're living in Northport, would be Inglewood, which is towards the coast, of course, west, and a little bit south. And then north of that's going to be Venice, and then north of that is going to be Sarasota. All 3 of those cities have plenty of other things to do. Inglewood's kind of got more of that old Florida feel, but sort of a beach town feel. Venice has a little bit more of a historic, but well-maintained, super pristine feel. Lots of quaint shops, restaurants. That's where we live. We have lots of videos on the channel about both these cities, including Northport. And then Sarasota. Sarasota is going to be a little bit of a bigger city, more stuff to do, you know, a little more variety in culture and types of restaurants, and like, you know, there's Asian grocery stores and Hispanic grocery stores, a little more than you're going to get in some of these other areas. And then of course, Siesta Key Beach, you know, everyone talks about that. And you're also in striking distance of Fort Myers, like probably about a 45-minute drive depending on what end of Northport you're on. So that location just gives you a lot of opportunities for work, for play, for, you know, a day trip somewhere. You can kind of pick your candy for the day.
Yes, and granted, Northport doesn't have a downtown. All these cities do have a downtown. So if you're in the mood for going, you know, just walking around downtown, you have a lot of different areas to pick from. And Welland Park, it's going to have its own downtown. They're planning by the end of the year. We're not sure if this is actually going to happen because we're middle of September already, but it seems like it will be. But if it's not done by the end of the year, next year it'll definitely be done. And it's not very far from Northport. In the end, you are in Northport.
That being said, it's not like there's nothing to do in Northport. They don't have a downtown, but they do have like a little area that feels kind of downtown-ish by the city hall. They'll have like farmers markets and things like that there, different craft events. So there are things going on the weekends there. They have 2 different water parks. They have like a splash pad. They have the warm mineral springs, which is supposed to be like healing and rejuvenating. We haven't gone in there yet because we're kind of afraid to go into any water that's not the ocean or the Gulf because of alligators and things. But a lot of people go into the warm mineral springs and nothing's happened there so far as we know. But yeah, so there's a lot of things to do on that side of things. Another reason I think it's such a draw for people and why it's growing so fast is just the overall fabric of the community as a whole. You know, it's a lower crime crime area. It's got good schools. It feels relatively safe.
And since it is a little more affordable, a lot of people do like to move there and just travel 20, 30 minutes to work, which a lot of the United States, I feel like it's set up that way where you have to travel at least 20 minutes for work unless you get like really lucky and you find work in your hometown.
Yeah.
But usually I feel like that's how it works out.
Yeah, and I think it's really a great area for, again, because of the availability of a lot with some room to spread out, a little bit of a bigger house you can get. So it's really good for families. But at the same time, a lot of retarees tend to like to go to Northport because they can get something a little more affordable. And then, again, like we said, if they want more stuff to do, if they want to go to more of the beaches, yes, it is a little bit of a drive, but you're saving a lot of money on that house, on the lot. You're going to get something nicer, typically something newer. A lot of these other cities that are like on the coast are a little more built out. There's not room to spread out. You're usually not going to get something quite as new.
And it just depends too what you're looking for, because if you are going to be going to the beach every day, maybe it does make sense to pay a little bit more just to be in a different, in a city like Venice where you have a beach within 10 minutes, wherever you are in Venice. If you're not going to be on the beach all the time, then Northport is great, because how many times are you really going to make that drive to go to the beach? And if you do, you just make a day out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think when you put all that stuff together, low crime, good schools, availability of newer homes, bigger homes, more for your money, bigger space, like all the perks of what I think someone's looking for, plus, of course, all the Florida stuff, warm weather, beaches, shopping, all that. You put all that together, and that, I think, explains a lot of why Northport is growing so fast. However, I think we would be doing you a big disservice if we didn't mention one of the really big reasons why Northport is growing so fast.
Yes, and that is Welland Park. And if you want to know more about Welland Park, we'll have a video right here so you can check it out.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Northport or Welland Park area,
make sure to call, text, or email me. I am a local realtor here. I'll have my information in the description box below.
We hear from people all the time and we love it. If you found the video helpful, subscribe, turn on all notifications, hit that like button, leave a comment with any questions, and we'll get to it in a future video, and live breezy.